What's good? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. The topic for today is create an abundant dating life before you get picky. All right. So, this is one of the mistakes I made when I decided to improve my dating life, basically, start getting the results I want in my dating life, right? I would focus on my type. Oh, there's a certain type of girl I want, right? So, when I would go out and meet women, and mainly do like cold approach. So basically go out and approach women and talk to women. In the beginning, I was being picky. Like I was like, okay, I have a type. There's a certain type of girl I want. So I would only seek out that type of girl as far as looks, right? But what would happen is if you go out in your day, you're not always going to see the type of girl you're into, right? You're not always going to see your type every time you go out. And so let's say you go out, I don't know, a couple of days in a week, and each time you go out, you don't really see her type. Maybe you see her once and you go and talk to her, right? But within that week, you've only talked to one girl, right? Because it was your type. Whereas, what if you would have focused on, let me just have an abundance mindset. Let me just talk to lots of women, right? Let me just get these dates going. Let me just start having these experiences. So when I do get in front of my type, I'm already, prepared in the sense of I've already been, creating some abundance. I've already been dealing with feminine energy. I'm already more relaxed, more grounded in my masculinity, more confident. So when my type shows up, I can express the most attractive version of myself, right? So this was a mistake that I made. It's like I would go out and I would be like, I would see girls and I wouldn't talk to them because I'd be like, yo, nah, she's not my type or whatever. And so I would end up like not talking to any girls because I'd be waiting for my type to show up. And your type is not always gonna show up, especially if it's like really specific, right? Like if you like Latina girls that are slim, thick, with green eyes, and you know what I mean? If it's super specific, you're not always gonna see that girl. So it's like you gotta get the abundance going, man. Because it's like you don't want to wait until you see that girl. Now you're like, oh, it's like this big deal. It's like this big events, and you're gonna just get all nervous and right, and you're just gonna fuck it up, man. To be honest, so it's better to focus on creating abundance. Get to a point where you have more dates than you can handle. Get to a point where you're talking to a lot of women. Once you're at that point, now you can be picky. Now you can be like, I don't want to talk to her because I'm already talking to a lot of girls, or I'm already dating a lot. You know what I mean? It's like, why be picky if you don't even have, that many options? Like that, to me, that's kind of not very intelligent, not very wise. And that was a mistake I made when I decided to take control of my dating life. I could have progressed a lot faster if I would have just focused on, let me create some abundance, right? Let me not be so picky in the beginning. Like, I'm not in a position to be picky, right? I don't have any abundance. It's not like I have a ton of options. When you have abundance, when you have a ton of options, you should be picky, right? Because now your time is more valuable in the sense that there's more demand, right? Meaning there's more women interested in you. So of course you got to be picky. Of course you got to be selective. But if you don't have that abundance, if you don't have a ton of options, focus on creating abundance. Focus on creating options, right? Maybe you have to drop your standards a little bit. That's fine because you're getting practice. You're preparing yourself for when you get in front of your type, you can show up to the best of your ability. You don't want your type to show up, the girl that you, whether it's your dream girl or the girl that you think is the most attractive girl in the world, and you're unprepared, like you're nervous, you're not, you know what I mean? You haven't been in the flow of things. You haven't created no momentum. You haven't been talking to girls. You haven't been getting used to feminine energy, desensitizing yourself to beauty and stuff like that. So when she shows up, you can be confident. You could be grounded. You could be in your masculine energy. You can be dominant. You can lead. All these qualities that are attractive to women, you want to show up with these qualities, right? And this happens through repetition, through experience, through references, right? And so you gotta, in the beginning, man, I'm telling you, whether it's the beginning or wherever you are in your dating life, if you don't have a ton of options, if you don't have abundance, if you don't have girls hitting you up or girls that you can hit up easily or whatever, create that abundance first and then get picky later. You know what I mean? Like, let's get that demand going. Let's get that pipeline full, or whatever, however you want to call it. And then once that happens, okay, now we have to be more what you call it? We have to qualify in more detail. We have to be more selective. We have to screen, right? Screen these women. All right, but in the beginning, I'm telling you, you want to get these references, you want to get this practice, because you can work on your character, you can work on becoming the man that you want to be with women, because the last thing you want is your type of girl to show up and then, but when you're interacting with her, it's the wrong dynamic, meaning you're not really that confident, you're not really that grounded, you're not really that masculine or whatever, so she ends up being the confident one, she ends up going in the masculine role, and then it's just off. Right? Either she's going to put you in a friend zone, or she's going to reject you, or if you guys do get together, it's going to be a relationship of misery, because if you're not in the masculine role, if you're not confident, if you're not grounded, if you're not assertive, if you're not these qualities, she's going to lose attraction over time, right? And it's going to get in a strange place where nobody's going to be happy in the relationship, because if the female and male dynamic is not interacting properly. Right? So you want to build up this confidence. You want to get these references. You want to talk to lots of women. You want to, you don't really know what you like until you've had a lot of, been on a lot of dates and talked to a lot of different girls and shit like that. So many different girls out there. Cold approach will give you an opportunity to meet different girls. In case you don't know what I mean by cold approach, I mean going out and approaching women that you don't know. Very similar to cold calling or cold marketing or whatever. But like when you go and do this, you'll meet so many different types of women, and your type may change over time. Like my type has changed over time because I've went out and had different experiences with different women. Sometimes we have a type, and it doesn't. It's literally like it's like you're assuming that's your type because just off of the looks and stuff. But you haven't really dealt with that type of girl enough times, or dealt with enough girls to really know what your type is. So that's what I mean. Create that abundance. Right? Go on tons of dates, talk to lots of women so you can see and get used to feminine energy and see the different types of women out there. And then you will get much clearer on the type of woman that compliments you the best. All right? So that's the advice for this video. If you're a man watching this and you want to eliminate the fear of approaching women and you want to develop unbreakable self-confidence, I'd like to invite you to the Unbreakable Beast Tribe. I'll drop a link to the group in the comment section, and I'll see you inside. Peace.